So the proposal was, as passed by the House, to reduce the spending for the rest of this 7 months in this fiscal year ending September 30th by $61 billion. And our colleagues in the Senate proposed to do nothing, basically, $4.6 billion reduction in spending over the rest of this fiscal year. That's an unacceptable number. Perhaps we can disagree over where cuts ought to occur, but it's critically important at this time in history, as I will discuss, that we take real action that sends a message. We have an opportunity now. This CR is it. We need to reduce spending now. You say, well, we can wait. We don't want to reduce spending for some of our favorite programs. This is damaging. And we hear the old speeches that sound like they were given 20 years ago about any proposal to cut any spending level is seen as some total disaster, suggesting the republic will cease to exist. And of course, Americans know that's not so. They're not buying that. What world are we in? All right, you say, you're just exaggerating. It's business as usual. We don't have to make any changes. We need to make investment sessions. This country needs to have more investments. So again, the question is, are you just raising this politically? You're just trying to make a political point? Or is it really something here that's happening in America that's dangerous and requires us to take this step? Whether we want to take this step or not, are we required to? Is it real? Do we have a crisis that's dangerous for us? This is what Mr. Erskine Bowles and Mr. Alan Simpson, Senator Simpson, Mr. Bowles was President Clinton's chief of staff. He was appointed by President Obama to co-chair the debt commission that did their report. This is what he said day before yesterday, both of them. This was their signed joint statement to the Budget Committee day before yesterday. We believe that if we do not take decisive action, our nation faces the most predictable economic crisis in its history. Close quote. Are these extremists? They spent months studying the crisis the nation is in, what it takes to get us out of it. They proposed some substantial changes in what we're doing. And just yesterday, they said we're facing a crisis, the most predictable this nation has ever faced in its history. Well, did you notice the news yesterday? Bill Gross, who runs the world's biggest bond fund at Pacific Investment Management, that total, the big bond fund, announced that they had totally eliminated U.S. government-related debt from their flagship fund. Quote, as the United States government projected record deficits. So that's a big development, frankly. I mean, he manages more money than anybody in the world, I guess in the history of the world. He's eliminated government debt from the total return fund. And that was just announced. So is that something we should be concerned about? I think it is, because who's going to buy our debt? Who will buy our Treasury bonds at now 10-year bonds at 3.5% or so interest? People get worried about your debt. They sell their bonds. Who's going to then buy them? Where are we going to get people to buy our bonds without paying higher and higher interest rates? So, Mr. President, we've had a debate. We had 10 Democrats defect from the Democratic bill that did nothing, saying we needed to go further. 2 Republicans defected. 1 independent defected, probably thought it was cutting too much. but the majority of people seem to be saying we need to reduce more. I suggest our leaders get together. If there's a disagreement about where the reductions ought to occur, so be it. Let's work that out. But we need to reduce spending significantly. The House number, in my view, is a minimal amount. I believe it will send a message to the Bill Grosses of the world who move billions of dollars around that this country is willing to take action, even tough action, to get off the unsustainable path we're on. I thank the chair and would yield the floor.